Coming up on Fulton Today, recommendations are in for system reforms made by the Smart Justice Panel. We'll tell you what they are. And Fulton leaders address the community with the highest number of evictions in the county. Find out what they say needs to happen to bring these numbers down. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. The county's top leaders in government and justice announced the official plan to address major concerns with Fulton's justice system. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega was at the press conference when the recommendations were made.
Shania, the Fulton County Chairman laid out the recommendations in this Smart Justice briefing book. The ideas in here range from formulating an official Smart Justice Committee to drafting official policy. It had been a year in the making for members of the Smart Justice Advisory Committee. Their mission: identify and address the causes of high rates of incarceration and recidivism in Fulton County. After many committee meetings and community crime and safety summits, members presented the culmination of all their hard work.
This has been a great effort, collaborative effort by many stakeholders within Fulton County government and external to Fulton County. And so we've been working through identifying what the problems and challenges are in our community in terms of public safety, and then coming up with a strategy and coming up with recommendations.
The advisory committee is made up of top elected officials in the justice community, as well as heads of universities and civic representatives. After hearing from the public during crime and safety summits all across the county, and after systematically discussing the issues committee members deal with every day, the group came up with these recommendations. Create a mechanism for government and justice partners to better coordinate and communicate standard practices. Investigate securing bonds from the private sector to fund certain government and nonprofit services. Implement additional pre-arrest diversionary programs, and pursue restorative programs for offenders to right their wrongs.
Many of these individuals have not finished high school, don't have any marketable job skills, may have substance abuse problems, may not have a home. And so we make an effort through our diversion team to put them in touch with those resources and individuals that can help them be more productive citizens.
Because nearly 40% of the county's budget is allocated to the justice system, the committee hopes that some of their recommendations will help to reduce the tremendous financial burden the revolving justice door is having on taxpayers.
We want to make sure our communities are safe, and so we are going to work hard. We're going to make sure that public safety is first and foremost in our heads and our eyes and our ears in terms of action, and we're going to work collaboratively towards that goal.
As for the next steps, the committee wants to introduce a resolution that formalizes their group like other boards and committees adopted by the Board of Commissioners. They are hoping with that official structure they can formally address the major justice-related issues. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, the Fulton County Marshals and District Attorney's offices joins forces with the City of East Point to address the many tenant and landlord issues in that area. The Marshal's office says East Point has one of the highest numbers of evictions in the county. Housing officials were also in attendance. The DA's community prosecution team was there to address the laws involving landlord and tenant issues. It was Zone 6 prosecutor Keith Lamar who was there and who is joining us now. Sir, welcome to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So tell everybody exactly why was this kind of a meeting even needed?
Well, basically, this meeting was needed because landlords and tenants, they have to work together. Here in East Point, there's been a small problem basically with our tenants not fulfilling their actual duties. So we want landlords to know their rights, to know their laws, and to be able to actually use that to help make the community better.
And how does this involve the district attorney's office?
It involves the DA's office and also the county attorney. In order to file an actual complaint, the landlord would have to call us out after the third actual offense, and we'll file a notice.
And there were a number of other partners involved with this effort. What's the mission?
Well, we have the marshal. Marshal was here. The City of East Point Solicitor Office was here. We have all our different council members. We have HUD here. A lot of people are actually joining in, trying to make the community better, which is what our whole goal is.
And sir, let me get the bottom line.
The bottom line is to uplift the community as a whole. We have to start from the ground up. We believe that the landlords treat their property with 100% as it is theirs. The tenants will start to treat their property better, and hopefully we can quit on some of this abandoned houses out here.
All right, Zone 6 Prosecutor Keith Lamar, great to hear from you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks again for having me.
Registration and elections officials are monitoring the early voting process now underway. The board went over all of the last-minute updates just before the process began. Though Election Day is not until November 4th, Fulton's election staff is encouraging as many residents to take advantage of the numerous early voting opportunities.
The Board of Registration and Elections meets monthly, and today we spoke about voter education. We spoke about the operations report, which tells the public and the board what we've done for the last month. In addition, we talked about our budget and the Post the Peach campaign, which is going to be a campaign to get voters to vote early, take selfies of themselves, post them on Instagram, and challenge their friends to vote early as well.
Fulton was one of the first to add Saturday and Sunday voting this year. Visit FultonElections.com for more information. While the Fulton Sheriff's Office is still looking to add more personnel to its ranks, it promoted many who are already on the force. A promotional ceremony was held at the Georgia Department of Public Safety building. Dozens of the law enforcement personnel were promoted to deputy sheriff sergeants and detention sergeant. Many others were transferred from one assignment to another. Their commitment to providing excellent client and customer service were among the reasons for the advancement.
We have to have a strategic plan that allows for people to move up into positions so that they can take over and run the organization within the age group that they represent and the majority of the age group of the community in which they serve.
That means the world to me. I mean, I've actually started here at the Sheriff's Office approximately 2.5 years ago, but I've actually been in law enforcement for 18 years. I came to the Sheriff's Office for one goal in mind, is I saw that the way the Sheriff's Office was really progressing here, and actually this is where I wanted to be at to further my career in law enforcement, because I wanted to be with one of the best departments around.
The Fulton Sheriff's Office is adding to its staff. Visit their website at fultonsheriff.org and look under employment opportunities. Fulton's first responders make sure that their work family also has a plan in case of fire. Personnel from the fire department hosted a safety fair in the largest county government center downtown. Fulton has been taking part in the National Fire Safety Campaign. The fire and rescue team reminded county personnel about the need for smoke detectors at home and an escape plan for both home and work.
Studies show that when you go to sleep at night, you cannot smell smoke. And that's why the #1 killer in a fire is smoke and poisonous gas. So we definitely want to promote the importance of testing your smoke alarm every month and changing the battery twice a year during daylight savings time. We also want to make sure that everybody knows how important it is to have an escape plan.
The Fulton Fire Department will come out to the community to make safety presentations. You can contact their office to get details. And still to come on Fulton Today, residents in South Fulton go one-on-one with the chairman. We'll have the story in our district-by-district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Fulton residents can make plans to address their 2015 budget needs, and others already address the chairman. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We began in District 1 with the chairman's second community forum. Commissioner John Eves hosted the town hall style gathering at the new Wolf Creek Library in South Fulton. Residents were able to voice their concerns and questions to the at-large commissioner along with other leaders in attendance.
Well, the question I wanted to know more about was the economic development in South Fulton because I really would like it to see more reflective of what's happening around the rest of the county. I really would like to see more of the kind of retail space.
Great exchange, great ideas, great suggestions. There were some tough questions, but I think we answered them, and I think there was mutual satisfaction afterwards. We dealt with code enforcement, parks and recreation, economic development, public health, the whole 9 yards. So a lot of issues were discussed and raised today, and I think we addressed them to the satisfaction of our residents.
This is the second community conversation with the chairman in recent weeks. His first one was at the Roswell Branch Library. Now, the chairman will hold his next Crime and Safety Summit next week at Northview High School. District 5 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell hosts her first of 3 State of the County Town Hall meetings. The Vice Chair gathered county personnel at the Southwest Arts Center for the meeting themed State of the County, what every citizen should know, what every citizen wants known. The town hall was for residents, District 5 partners, and stakeholders to present their concerns directly to the commissioner.
This meeting was about the budget and any other issues that we may have had. And there are a lot of issues that concerns me, and it would take me too long to go through every one of them, but my main one was how our financial situation in terms of the budget for 2015. And the next thing was human services, what is happening to our seniors.
We are extremely pleased to have had an opportunity to meet with the residents of this community so that we can together identify our priorities, our interests, and the evidence-based strategies that we will use as we move ahead to meet our responsibilities to our children, to our parents, and to our neighborhood.
The concerns presented during the meeting will be used to improve and upgrade county services. The next town hall meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 28th at both 11:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. These meetings will be held at the Darnell Senior Facility. And finally, in District 7, Commissioner William Bill Edwards announces a series of town hall meetings that will be focused on the 2015 budget. Here are the dates: October 27th at the South Fulton Service Center on Stonewalltail Road, October 28th at the South Fulton Arts Center Theater, and October 30th at Burdett Gym. All of the meetings begin at 6:30 p.m.
Budgeting is always twofold. One is, or maybe threefold. One is what the people want, what the departments want, along with their enhancements, and what we can afford. So we want to put as much input in the South Fulton budget as we can. We have done very well over the years in terms of managing a great budget, and we want to continue that process through this budget season.
To get more information on the public meetings in South Fulton, you can contact the District 7 office. Now, you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with a rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And when we come back, Ebola education, the preparations and plans in place to make sure the virus doesn't spread to our region. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
As the Ebola virus is making headlines all across the world, county health professionals want you to know that they are making preparations just in case it comes to the region. FGTV's Felicia Church has the story.
Protect ourselves when we interact.
Education and preparation. County health leaders are continuing to train work staff on the Ebola virus.
We're very vigilant right now, and we're doing lots of planning and educating to get everyone prepared in the event that something like that happens so that as few people as possible are affected.
The CDC says a person needs to have direct contact with bodily fluids from an infected person. Symptoms include fever, diarrhea, stomach pain, and bleeding. It can start 2 to 21 days from exposure.
We suspect that there's a very high probability that someone from Africa will come to the Atlanta metro area and get sick after their arrival with Ebola virus.
There have been about 19 different outbreaks in Africa since 1976, but this is the first to be declared a public health emergency of international concern.
One of the other things we've been doing as a health department is trying to inform other institutions in the Atlanta area that have lots of people in them, and many of them from Africa, like our schools, our universities, hospitals, about what to do.
The training includes making sure staff knows the importance of asking patients questions about symptoms and about recent travels from Africa.
We have a lot of training, we have plans in place, and we have very skilled staff who will respond in a very quick manner and be able to stop any more people from being exposed so that this disease does not spread in the population.
Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, survivors are sharing their success stories. Paula Broadnax talked about her journey at the Mills Senior Center. She said she was diagnosed with breast cancer 17 years ago as a result of having fibrocystic breast. That's a term for a breast described as painful or lumpy. Broadnax says now she feels it's her responsibility to tell others her story.
Because I'm still here, I believe I have a mission and a purpose to share my story with others and let them know that God can do great things like He's done for me.
Breast cancer is the leading cancer among women in Georgia and the second leading cause of cancer deaths. For more information about all of the county's health services available for breast cancer prevention, you can call 404-612-1211 or you can check us out online. As trick-or-treaters prepare their costumes, remember that health and safety should be at the forefront. The fire department wants parents to remember to make sure outfits are bright, reflective, and fire-resistant.
A lot of the masks that some of the parents may buy the kids may be too large. I would suggest or recommend face painting, which is something that kids really love. To do that in lieu of large masks and that kind of thing.
The CDC says each year in the U.S., about 4 children die from pedestrian crashes each Halloween night.
Parental involvement is paramount. The kids should not be roaming through their neighborhoods or any other area without parental involvement.
Parents should also teach children their phone number and 911 in case they get lost. Use only battery-operated candles instead of open flames, and of course, make sure children wait until they are back home to sort through all of those treats. And still to come on Fulton Today, the start of a new library branch. We'll have the story when we come back.
Watching Fulton Today.
Next week, crews will break ground on another new library in the county. This is a sketch of what the new Metropolitan Library branch will look like once completed. This library is part of the Phase 1 of the library building program currently underway. Voters approved the library bond referendum in 2008 to fund the building program. The new library will be located at 1332 Metropolitan Parkway.
The library building program, which began with a facility master plan, identified this community as needing a new library for a couple of reasons. One is it's currently served by the oldest library in the library system, the Stewart Lakewood Branch Library, which was built in the 50s.
The new branch is expected to open in the fall of 2015. Now, you can be a part of the groundbreaking ceremony on Wednesday, October 29th at 11 a.m. And finally, amazing works of art show off the hidden talent of Fulton County employees and their families. The annual National Arts Program highlighted various art forms by county staff and their relatives. The Arts and Culture Department hosted an awards reception at the Government Center downtown where the winners were announced. The categories ranged from professional to youth under 12.
We get to see hidden talent that Fulton County employees have who are everyday and working in various different departments, and you get to glimpse into just their artistry, their creativeness.
The National Arts Program takes place all over the country every fall. This is the 18th year Fulton County has participated. This year, more than 85 entries from 24 county departments were displayed in the atrium of the Government Center. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs right here on FGTV. Email us at fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can also follow us on twitter.com/FGTV, find us on Facebook, and watch us on YouTube. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.